Hey everybody, I'm John at Collect Cards, and I just got back my 10 card SGC order. So we're going to turn the camera around, waste no time here, and get it ripped open, and I'll show you the grades that I got on my 10 card submission. Alright, so I'm going to try to rip this open as fast as I can here. I got here about, an hour or so ago. Just haven't had time to crack them open yet. And again, let's hope I can get it done quickly here. Last couple of times, this is my 5th submission reveal, and the last couple of the times I've done this, I already have the box open already, but since this was a bigger box, and I just thought I'd kind of open it from the start and sort of see how it looks. And okay, grab this out here. There we go. All right, exciting, exciting. Okay, there shouldn't be anything else in there. All right, let's crack this open. So, the last video I just posted almost a week ago, I shared the cards there and some hoped for grades. They're all technically all vintage, although one is from 1979, so right at the end of the vintage era, I guess you could say. But the majority are from the 70s, from the 50s. There's 7 from the 50s, 1 from the 60s, 2 from the 70s in this submission. I do know the grades, as is kind of my standard here. Let me make sure they're not showing here. Trying to see how they have this. I haven't done a 10, so again, not sure how that's... let's see here. I'm going to take it off camera for 2 seconds here. Just make sure I'm... Okay. Okay, had my name on there, and all right, here's the stash. Okay, so these are in a slightly different order than I submitted them for some reason. Not exactly sure why that is. So I usually send them in reverse chronological, and but this time they're a little more mixed up. But when they sent the completed one, but although the newest card, so to speak, is right on the back here, which is what I did submit at the start. But we'll get right to it. The first one is my 1979 Mike Schmidt. The first two actually in this are what I had called the wild cards in my submission video when I shared what I was sending. And they have these as the first ones that they ended up being last on the list of what they graded. So I have a feeling maybe they took some extra time grading these, perhaps, as that's kind of my guess on this. Get some junk out of the way here on some dust in here. But okay, so 79 Schmidt. I was hoping for an 8 on this one. I didn't think it had a chance for a 9 because it had a little bit of a speck on the front, or like the tiniest bit of paper loss on there, because it had like a print bubble on the paper where it kind of popped the paper a smidge. It's hard. I'll point it out again when I show it here in a sec. Again, I know the grades, so this is not a blind reveal. But 10 cards here, all vintage. 9 of them are Hall of Famers, starting with the 79 Schmidt. Hoping for an 8. Here's what I got. I got a 7 on it. So I was a little disappointed in this one. More than a little, actually, but that's okay. It's, this was a wild card. Here's the spec I was talking about right here. It's a very slight, it's hard to pick up on here, but it's a little off center right. The rest of the card, though, is pretty nice. So the fact that it didn't even get a 7.5 was a little disappointing. And so this card is not worthless, but it's not worth very much. In fact, it's probably would sell on eBay for less than the $22 I paid to slab it. So that was the risk I did on that one. Knew what I was fully getting into there, that could be a possibility. And, so it's I'll take that as an education, so to speak. It's so will I send similar cards like this out to get graded? Probably not. It's just not worth it. So, but I thought I'd take a chance. I was curious to see what they thought on a card like that, because it was really in good condition, except for that one little dot here and slightly off center, and it got a 7. Unless I'm missing something else on there. So, I don't know what I'll do with that. We'll see. I might keep it. I might just sell it and cut losses. We'll see. Next one up, I'm going to try to make this under, I'm going to try to see if I can keep it under 15 minutes. So it's a big aim, but we're going to see what we can do. I'm already 5 in. This was the other wild card, probably the biggest wild card of the bunch. This is a 1955 Rube Walker Topps, the non-Hall of Famer of the group. I picked this up out of a singles box in my LCS for all of $5, and it was a surprisingly nice condition card, what I thought was very good condition. I was hoping for as high as an 8 on it. Again, and that's the only reason why I would send this in. I mean, yeah, it's from their championship year, 55, the Brooklyn Dodgers. He's the backup catcher. Was hoping for an 8. I thought I had a really good chance to get at least a 7. So let's see what they gave me here. I got a 6 on this one. I was a little disappointed in this one. So a bit of an 0 for 2 start here in my subs, which, SGC has been treating me pretty well, I think, on my grades. And, I'm guessing it must be a 6. But I have a feeling the fact that these two were at the end of my order, I have a feeling they, sent this, they may have kicked this to somebody else who maybe, I'm sure not too many Rube Walkers get graded. And I'm sure not tons of 79s get graded compared to other vintage years. So I don't know. They must have gotten second looks, I bet. And then that's my theory. And that then on that further review, they got knocked. That's my guess. This one had a bit of a small edge issue here, but really not that much of one. See there, a little uneven right here, but not much. It's a little off center right. But, the corners were, I thought, better than 6. I thought this card was at least going to get a 7. So, it got a 6. Again, what do I do with this one? I don't know. It's quite possible you might see these on eBay. Or heck, if you're interested in either one of these, feel free to comment on here. Maybe we can make an arrangement on here. I do PayPal. So, I probably am not going to keep them both. I'm probably going to look to move them because it will leave not a bad taste in my mouth, but it's and in the end, again, these were the 2 wild cards and they were in the back of the group. And it's now I know kind of what I'm probably better at grading. So I'm taking it as a bit of an education on here. So if this was a 7, I almost certainly would keep it. If it was an 8, I would have considered selling it. Now that it's a 6, I'm probably it might be a cut losses kind of thing. Although, honestly, this probably, I'm in 27 on this. This will probably sell for, I'm hoping I could sell it for 30, but if I do decide to sell it. But, it books in PSA a 6 for 40. So we'll see. Let's move on. Let's move on to the big one. Hall of Famers here. All right. Let's hope it gets better. 1965 Topps Harmon Killebrew. This is one of my favorite cards in vintage. I just love the look of this card, and I bought it many years ago when I was 18, 19 years old at a card show in New York. I've had it, it was in a screw-down holder for many years. It was finally time to get it in. I realized in my video I actually never shared the hoped-for grade, and I actually put it in a comment later in the video. I was hoping for a 6 on this one. I was hoping for a 6. Overall, a really nice centered card. SGC gave me a 7 on it. So this card alone, even regardless of what everything else gets, this almost made up for the disappointment with these two. I was very happy that this got a 7 because I love this card. Just the look of it. I love the blue, the match. I just love the pose, and I just love the composition of the card. It's well centered. The corners are pretty nice. Actually, more than pretty nice. So very happy about this 7. Next up, I've got back-to-back 53 Bowmans here. So it's going to be a little out of order in terms of chronological, but the next one is my 53 Bowman Larry Doby. I was hoping for a 6 on it. You can tell here it's a little off-center bottom here, so it's off-center right, I believe. It's also got a slight tilt to it that you'll see on the top mostly, and I didn't mention that in the when I shared the cards in my last video. It has a little bit of a tilt. Either way, I was still hoping for a 6 on this one because it just looks really nice. Let's see what they did for me. I got a 5 on this one. Am I disappointed? No. Well, yeah, a little bit. Was I expecting a 6? I don't want to say I was expecting a 6, but I thought a 6 was a good possibility here. You can see the tilt. Sorry for the glare on this one, on some of these, but there's a bit of a tilt there. You can see going like sort of angling down a little bit, along with being off center right. The edge, there's a little bit of edge issue there too. You can see it gets sort of came through a little bit there. If I can get it back in focus. A little rough edge there, you could see. So, I think those things probably contributed. And the image itself, the print registration might not be the best either on it. It's a great photo, though. I just love this photo of him gazing out from the dugout. Just a fantastic card. So, am I happy with this 5 overall? Yes, I am. Would I have loved a 6 or even a 5.5? Sure. But a 5, I'm okay with that. But really, I'm off to only a 1 for 4 start here, 250, in terms of hope for grades. But let's see if I can pick it up here. My next up is 1953 Bowman Leo Durocher. I have a small goal this year that I want 3 Leo Durocher cards because I just think he's one of the more fascinating figures in baseball lore because of the decades he spanned in the game. I'm hoping to get his 1933 Gaudy this year. I'm back. Sorry about that. I had if there was probably a bit of a blip in the video. I had a knock on my door, and I had to attend to something from one of my kids. So, again, here we go. 1953 Leo Durocher. It's a nice card overall. The centering on this is better than the Dobby. It was a slightly off-white in color, so I thought maybe that would hurt it. Compared to the Dobby was better, like the white was crisper than this one. This one's a little more off-white, but still very nice. Not discolored, I would say, at all. I was hoping for a 5 on this one because of that color, and the corners weren't quite as crisp, I don't think, but let's see what they gave me here. Look at that. This was a pleasant surprise. I got a 6.5 on this. And I just realized I was in the middle of talking about my Durocher goal for the year. I'm hoping to get a 1933 Gaudy Durocher when he was a member of the Gas House Gang. My thought is I'm going to look for that. It's going to be one of my cards I'm going to seek out at the National this summer, because that's something I'm going to want to look at in person, and I imagine I'll be able to see a few copies there, hopefully. And then I want to look for a 1971 Topps of him. I like his card on that, and it kind of spans the decades that he was in the game nicely, 30s, 50s, 70s, and I'm going to hope to find that one in a 7. So that'll be a little bit of a challenge to find the 71 set in a 7. Anything in a 7 is, not easy for a, decent price anyway. Anyway, I was very happy about this 6.5. So my little Durocher goal's off to a nice start. I was hoping for I'm looking for a 3 for the 33 Gaudy to make that a challenge, 7 for the 71, and I was hoping for a 5 on this one for the 53. It came back much better than I expected. So 6.5 on Durocher there. That's the first half of this. I got 5 to go here. Next up is my 1959 Topps Stan Musial. Back was really nice on this. The front had some a couple of scratches that I thought were going to really impact the card, or could possibly. I just didn't know, whatever SGC thought. But at the same time, the centering on this is overall pretty nice, and so I was hoping for a 5. The corners are also pretty good. Has some discoloring on the front, on the bottom left especially, that I'll point out again. But still, I was hoping for a 5, and I got it. So SGC got me the 5 on this. I was happy about that. And I think it is a 5. I really do. Even with these scratches here. It's this kind of here and here mostly. The discoloring is here. That is kind of evident there. You can see up the left there. But overall, it's got good eye appeal. This is a nice card. I love the blue in this. It looks really nice in this slab. All of these do. But happy for that 5 there. And we've got 4 to go. They're starting to get good now. They're all good, but now they're really starting to get good. Here's my 1956 Sandy Koufax, Topps Sandy Koufax. Sorry, 56 Topps Sandy Koufax, a second-year card. It's a gray back, which has more value over the whites, over the white backs in these low numbers. Which, again, when I'm not really down on all the 56 nuances, but when I noticed the price differentials between grays and whites in the low numbers, I was like, wow, that is significant. And I found this on my LCS just about 3 weeks ago. And by the way, I should say these SGC got these back to me in another week. It was a 1 week turnaround. I got them to the post office last Saturday, February 4th, and it is Saturday, February 11th. So 5 business days. They got to SGC on Monday. They were graded Tuesday, and I got the grades Wednesday, and they were out the door by end of day Wednesday, and they were out the door, I guess, Thursday. So to come back. So, again, it's just a solid turnaround from them. But without further ado, Koufax. I was hoping for a 3 on this. Thought it had a chance for... I was hoping for a 4. Thought it had a really good chance for a 3. Little bit of a discoloration there that I think the card may have gotten slightly wet there at one point. You could sort of see the line there. Corners overall are, in the VG to VGEX range, I think. A little bit of a corner wrinkle there. So that was kind of concern. Little one there up there too, but nothing too major. Presents very well on the back. On the front, look at that. I got the 3.5. So right in the middle of kind of where I was thinking, which makes me very happy camper on this. Just knowing what, these are what these are going for. This is, I guess it's a $200+ card now. And I'm in about 162 on it without tax. So about 170, I guess you could say I'm in on it. I got it for 140 a couple of weeks ago raw. Add the 22 and some tax and whatnot. So happy with this result. Very happy with this result. This is a nice one. So 3.5 for my 56 Koufax. We've got 3 to go. 1970 Topps Roberto Clemente. Got this. Gosh, the lights. I'm sorry about that, guys. Got this at my same LCS there where I got the Koufax. Picked this one up about 2 months ago, I'd say. And I believe I paid all 27 for it. I think he had it for 30. He knocked off $3. Off center, as you can see here, top bottom, which translates to left right when I flip it. And it's definitely some discoloring on the back. But the corners are decent. Some print mark there. Although I actually saw in other examples of this 70, this print mark is almost like there just must have been something on the printer. I've seen this kind of a print mark spotting thing on a lot of these, actually, right in the same area, interestingly enough. Let's see what they did for me. I got a 6 on this. I was super happy about this. I was hoping for a 5 on it. And I thought that might have been a long shot, actually, because of that off-centering on this. But, bottom corners, not too bad. It's a little bit of wear. There, but not too much. And here, I guess it just presents well. I mean, there must be things going for this one that, this was... I'm trying to think. Well, the biggest surprise was either, I got 2 to show still, but the biggest surprise was either this or the Durocher. Sorry, the lighting again. I think it might have been, this one might be the most surprising. I could sort of see it being a 6, but it's surprising almost in the degree. In my last submission a couple months back, I had a 69 Hank Aaron that graded a 6, and it shocked me because I thought it was going to maybe get a 4, and it got a 6, and I was blown away by that. This doesn't blow me away that much, but this was a very pleasant surprise. Very happy about this grade. So Clemente gets a 6, and as you can see, after what I'm calling a 1 for 4 start, I've kind of picked up the pace, and I'm kind of hitting the mark, or a little better than what I was hoping for. In this case, much better, and a fair amount better. So overall, we got 2 left. They're for my 54 set. I have a 1954 complete set of Topps. It, it took me about 1.5 years to finish it. I was like I probably will make a video about the 54 set and what made me become so drawn to it. I probably will do that soon, actually. But the first one of the 2 that I sent in, the final 2 cards of this video, is my 1954 Topps Phil Rizzuto. I was hoping for a 5 on it. Overall, it's a pretty nice card. Hoping for a 5. Corners are decent, actually. More than, better than decent. A little bit of edge there issue, but not too much. It's a nice card. Let's see what I got. 5.5. So the scooter got me a very nice grade here. SGC, I thought, I think the color, I think they may have noticed the color. The color on this is really nice. The red is just not faded at all. I think that really had it going for it. So it's really not even that off-center either. The centering on this is decent. It's not perfect by any means. It's a smidge down, and it's a smidge right, but not that much overall. It presents very well. Paper loss is almost a non-issue on this card. So 5.5 I thought was very nice of them. Happy about that. I'm going to drag these down. We'll put, the grade's not going to show, but I'm just going to keep them there for now. And the last card in the video, we did get over 20 minutes here. I was hoping to get it to 15. I guess that was really wishful thinking. It's my 1954 Jackie Robinson. So in this case, maybe the best is saved for last, even though it's the worst conditioned card of the whole submission. But it's Jackie Robinson, 1954. Absolute titan of a card, a classic in the hobby. Just love this card. It is my only Jackie playing era card, actually, too. For now. Maybe there'll be another one in my future, but they're a bit hard to come by. His prices, and just since I've gotten back in 3 years ago, have skyrocketed. So it's just he's in a stratosphere now. And if he wasn't in the stratosphere 3 years ago, he's there now. So here we go. I was hoping for a 2 on this. As you can see, it's off-center bottom, which translates to off-center left, actually. There's some peeling, a decent amount of peeling. But, it is what I could, was able to kind of, reasonably get for an auction. And just, I was really happy with the card. More than anything, in some ways still, I just wanted it to be authentic, not just have an A on it. Didn't want just the A. I was pretty certain it was a legit card. But let's see what they gave me. Without further ado, got the 2. Was hoping for the 2, got the 2. And that's, I really didn't think it was going to be less than that. I had a good feeling this was not going to be a 1.5 or not a 1. It's got two creases in it of note. I really think just 2. One of them is just this interesting one here, which, someone put a bowl or a coffee cup or something else around. Like, look at it right there. You could sort of see that groove. Such an interesting crease there. Unique for sure. But, again, it's not on his face, so that's very good. And the only other crease in here is right up here, which you can sort of see right here, goes to about here. It stops just shy of his cap. So, and it's hard to see in the yellow background. It's hard to pick up. You have to really look at it. But the corners are really rounded. But his face, the main thing about his face, there's no big paper loss, like splotchy white kind of all over, which is, I've seen so many examples of that. It always like saddens me when I see those examples, even though they're still great Jackies. This one's got a scratch kind of right near his eye there. That's the main part of the, like, in terms of his face, like, that's an issue on this particular card, but I was able to overlook that when I thought this was a card to jump in on for an auction, which I ended up winning. Very happy it came back at 2. So, and that's the last of the big 7 in this set that I have graded now. I bought the Aaron and the Banks graded already, 1.5s. This is a 2. My Jackie's a 2. Willie Mays is a 3 that I sent in. And my 2 Ted Williamses, card number 1 came back a 4. Card number 250 came back an A, unfortunately. Those are all on past videos you could find if you want to see those. And that's the only A I've had of a submission of anything. It was a really nice card. It came back an A erased, actually, not trimmed. And I'm missing one, I think, of those big 7, I think. Al Kaline came back 3.5. So there you have it. There's my 10 cards here for this latest submission. I'll just hold Jackie kind of up here kind of thing. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great weekend. And gosh, pitchers and catchers report on Monday, I think. So until then, enjoy the Super Bowl. I do think the Chiefs are going to pull it out. I don't have a rooting interest in the game. I'm just rooting for a good one. Should be pretty close, but I think the Chiefs with the experience factor in the big game, I think they're going to pull it out tomorrow, but we'll see. Again, have a great weekend. See you on the next video.